Welcome to Schneider Electric,
where no one in the world does more with electricity. Today we want to talk about safety. Your safety and our safety.
In the next few minutes, we'll cover a few of the safety issues that you'll need to follow while you work at Schneider Electric. Many safety guidelines are based on government regulations. Others are routine things like good housekeeping and focusing on the task at hand.
All contractors are expected to view this training video. Additionally, all contractors must read and sign the Safety and Environmental Guidelines document. Completion and documentation of this training is required prior to entering the site to perform work. Smoking is only permitted in designated outside areas.
As a contractor for Schneider Electric, you are expected to provide your own equipment. This includes personal protective equipment, such as gloves, non-metallic hard hats, safety harness, and safety glasses. You'll also need to wear appropriate work shoes or boots. If you need to use Schneider Electric's equipment, prearrange approval with the maintenance supervisor or facilities engineering. Depending on where you are working, additional safety equipment or other restrictions may apply. For example, always wear a fall-arresting harness when working in a lift or when working more than 6 feet off the floor. Also, we do not permit the use of metal ladders inside the plant or office areas. Various safety and warning signs are posted throughout the facility. If you have any questions about safety or warning signs, ask your contract sponsor. If you're bringing any hazardous material onto Schneider Electric property,
you'll need MSDS information, and you must get it pre-approved by the Safety, Health, and Environmental Manager. Hazardous materials must be handled and stored properly. Also, flammable materials need to be stored in NFPA-approved containers with proper labeling, and they must be stored in designated areas only. Before you start working, put up "Caution Do Not Enter" tape around your work area and beneath overhead work areas. Inspect all the equipment before you use it, and that goes for electric cords as well. They must be grounded or double insulated. If any equipment is damaged, then don't use it. It's important to keep your work area safe by cleaning up daily. Be sure to keep all exits and stairways free of obstructions. Remove trash and other waste daily. Do not pour any materials into the sewer. Contact your sponsor if you have questions about disposal of waste materials. And if you're going to work with or around hazardous materials, always review the material safety data sheets. Talk with your on-site sponsor or refer to the Safety and Environmental Guidelines document for any additional safety or environmental questions. Certain jobs require special safety permits that you can get from maintenance or facilities engineering. Working on live electrical circuits is not recommended and only permitted in special cases. For any live electrical work, you must have a live work permit. You must also be sure to wear the appropriate protective safety gear. If you're working with 200 volts or more, you need to have someone with you. Don't do it alone. If you're going to be welding, grinding, polishing, or cutting metal, you need to get a hot work permit. Like any other job, you're going to need to use the necessary safety equipment. This includes a face shield, eye protection, and gloves. If you're working in walkways or work areas with other people, use safety screens to prevent flying particles from hitting people around you. And don't forget, if you're using compressed gas bottles, make sure they're secure and upright at all times. Before you dig, you need to know what's down there. So you need to get a digging permit before digging deeper than a foot. Also, use proper shoring and bracing where required. Facilities engineering will also coordinate all entry into permitted confined spaces.
Contractors that need to work in these areas must be qualified according to the applicable OSHA or OSHA regulations prior to commencing the job.
Again, when you're working in any of these environments, get the proper permit from the facilities engineering or maintenance staff. When you're working on equipment that uses a form of electrical or stored energy, you need to make sure it doesn't get started accidentally.
Both you and a Schneider Electric representative need to lockout tagout the equipment. When it is safe to remove the lockout tagout, a Schneider Electric representative must also be present and agree that it is safe to remove.
We know that accidents do happen, but if you follow these guidelines, the chances of an accident will be minimized. If an accident does occur, report it to your contract sponsor immediately. As you work, be aware of where fire alarm pull stations and fire extinguishers are. Pull stations and fire extinguishers are located throughout our facility and at all exits. If a fire breaks out, pull the nearest alarm and try to put the fire out with a fire extinguisher.
The alarm will notify the location response team and the local fire department.
Remember, how you work affects everyone around you. Be aware of what's going on around you. Get the permits you need and wear the proper personal protective equipment. If you or any of your coworkers is performing in an unsafe manner, they're not only endangering their life, but others as well.
We would like to make it clear that safety here at Schneider Electric is taken very seriously.
You and your fellow workers' welfare is very important to us. While it may be easy to take a shortcut to complete your work,
we require that you follow Schneider Electric safety procedures.
Accidents only need a place to happen, and carelessness could prove to be fatal.